father have some arrows we bought from eBay, and we also have some Bohning Blazer shrink wrap fletchings that we will be putting onto these. We have to take off the old fletching first, and then we'll get into putting on the new.
Need a little help with that? Alright. So you want to be careful that you don't knock off the knock. And you also don't want to cut your feet. What I found previously is you just hold a tight grip on your knife and just slide it. Look at me. Slide it this way a little bit as you go down, and it takes it off pretty good. Just get the big part off first, and then we'll work on the trim later. Don't point that at me, son. You slip, I don't want you to slip on me. For now.
Most of these look brand new except for the fletching.
They've been sitting around quite a bit. Haven't been used a lot, but they've got dry rotted. This fletching just doesn't last forever. Not in a hurry, Jack. I'm busy in the kitchen, and we wanted you to hear the birds singing instead of Mama.
Squawking.
Makes for a much better background voice. I already did one of these, and it came out pretty good. The Bohning fletching has it's a shrink wrap fletching, and it has a coating inside that also adheres to the arrow shaft, so that keeps it from sliding around after you've installed it. Okay, point that way. Turn yourself in your seat. On the front of these fletchings.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's a little bit harder to get through that, so we'll work on that later.
It's a tad bit of
And we don't want to cut into the arrow either. Right, they're going to get really wet when we try to install them. Okay, and another one right there. So the way the shrink wrap works, as most of you know, but for those who don't, is that when you heat it, it'll tighten up right onto the shaft. So it's a little bit larger than the shaft, diameter now. But heat it, it'll shrink down the shaft size. There's a lot of glue on this thing. Either that or some kind of a layer of
or you're peeling the arrow itself.
No. It could be just a coat of clear coat.
We're gonna be putting on the new fletchings. We've gotten all of the old fletching and glue off of the old arrows. That's essential. The green ones had a lot more glue on them. They were a lot tougher to get off, but it's more. But Dad thinks that they put that on purpose. So you might have a tough time. You might think you're damaging the arrow, but you're not. It's just a lot of glue.
Well, listen, when you're scraping it off, you don't see any change in the paint, and you're going to do it at an angle to where you're not digging into the arrow surface. But I think they had some lack. I don't know. They might have just dipped them in the glue and then put them in the fletching applicator, and then pull them out and set them out to dry, you know, at the factory, whatever the process is. But it seems like there's a lot of either clear lacquer or glue on this end of the arrow. So we scrape that off in the area we're going to be applying the fletchings to. But now that we've had our hands all over them, we want to clean the ends with some rubbing alcohol and make sure that we don't put our hands back on there, okay? Water boiling. So you want to fill up the water about almost to the top. And then there's a clear mason jar that we're going to pour that water into, Jack. If you can go find that over there, please. So we're just cleaning this up to get any oil or any residual stuff. Did you find it?
No.
It started to split on this seam because it was getting so tight that it split. So we're going to try to keep these two closer to the regular, you know, we're going to count out the seconds. And it's 10 to 12 seconds is what I heard it should be. So this one's singing. See, it likes that rub down the other day, and you see right here, right there, you can see there's a little notch, and that's where it's stretched and started to pull away there. But these are tight; they're not going anywhere. And Jack will show you that. Yeah, these little green ones sing. You hear that?
How do they do that? I mean, why?
They just have good voices, that's all. Alright, so these are all clean. And we want to be careful that we don't, again, handle them after we clean the oil off. So you can see there's a little bit of dirt on there that's coming off. Aluminum tends to do that. You tend to get a lot of black oxidation on old aluminum stuff. Work harder to get them off the next time probably because the hot glue that's on the bottom inside of this fletchings. Oh, this one's singing too, boy.
I dip the arrows with the adhesive shrink wrap fletchings.
And you have to make sure that you got enough water in there. The height is enough so that it'll cover the whole fletching. And so let's see, the small ones are probably the ones the kids are going to shoot. So I'm going to make theirs the orange ones.
Oh, I like
Orange
green.
fletchings.
I like green.
Well, because I already have green on that one, dear. All right. Again, you don't want to touch where you've cleaned the fletching. Now, something else you need to remember is that you want this fletching turned so that the two vanes face the bow when you shoot. So you can't just put this on any old way. And your string is vertical, and so if your nock string is going to go in this way, so you want these two on the side facing the bow. Alright, so then you just want to make sure that those are lined up that way so that you can, that glue already wants to take a bite. Okay, I'm on a little bit too far. I want to stay back towards the nock a little bit. Overlap it just a little because when it shrinks, it's going to come back off. Alright, so it'll tighten down this way as well as this way. So about 12 seconds is what we want. Slide it right in there. Make sure.
That looks weird.
It looks like we had it in the water too long. You can see the difference the timing makes. So you got the veins are nice and straight here, and see these are rippled, which tells me that the shrink wrap contracted enough, and this didn't contract, so this is tighter, and that makes this ripple. This one's a lot better, so make sure we time these more carefully. Thank you.